If you open this box, I'll marry you, the gorgeous alien queen's wild challenge. The council world, Surin, was one of the oldest in known space. It was where alien races came to settle disputes, form alliances, and show off their power. Humans had been called late to these councils, often seen as reckless or unpredictable, and many alien leaders still whispered that humans were weak. Alex felt none of the fear that many humans carried. He had studied the aliens for years, learned their customs, and understood their ways. Yet, even he could not ignore the tension in the air today. The council hall was filled with beings of every shape and size. Some had transparent skin that glowed with the flow of their blood. Some had multiple arms and eyes, and others looked almost human but with strange proportions. The council members sat in high chairs, raised above the floor, their attention focused on the center where the debates would happen. A sudden silence fell over the room. The main doors opened with a hiss, and a figure entered. She moved with grace that seemed impossible. Her skin was a deep shade of violet, her hair shimmered like liquid silver, and her eyes held the kind of power that made even seasoned ambassadors hesitate. This was Queen Sarilith, ruler of the Valorians, a species known for conquest and cunning. The room seemed to shrink in her presence, and even the most confident alien delegates straightened nervously in their seats. Without a word, she walked to the center of the chamber. The council members watched, unsure of her intentions. Then in a smooth motion, she placed a small, ornately carved box on the floor. It looked simple, yet it carried an aura of authority. The box glowed faintly, as if it was alive. "Humans," the queen's voice echoed through the chamber, clear and commanding, "if one of you opens this box in front of all of us, I will marry you. By my people's law, the union will be binding and recognized across every world I rule." The room erupted into whispers. Some laughed nervously, others muttered warnings. A few looked at the queen in shock, unable to hide fear. Marriage in Valorian culture was more than a personal bond. It was political power. By agreeing to marry, a human would gain influence the council never imagined. But most humans also knew this could be a trap. No one had ever seen such a box survive unguarded in Valorian law without a deadly trick hidden inside. Alex watched carefully. He saw the fear in the eyes of the human delegates behind him. They shifted uncomfortably, some wishing to leave, some wishing to laugh it off. But Alex did not move. He had studied Queen Sarilith, studied her culture, and he understood something most humans did not. Valorians respected courage that was quiet and steady, not loud and boastful. He stepped forward. Every eye in the chamber turned to him. The queen raised an eyebrow, curiosity flickering across her face. "You," she said. "A human dares to approach?" Alex's voice was calm. "I am not here to dare or boast. I am here to do what humans have always done. We face what we must face, even when it seems dangerous. We act because fear cannot rule our choices." The queen tilted her head as if testing him. She motioned for him to continue. Alex crouched slightly, examining the box. It was heavier than it looked, the carvings intricate and almost hypnotic. He had no idea what it contained, and he knew any sudden movement could trigger a trap. Yet his mind was clear. He could feel the tension in the council hall. The alien delegates were watching closely, waiting for the human to fail. He opened his mouth. "If this box is meant to test strength, I will not fail because I am strong. If it is meant to test wisdom, I will not fail because I am careful. If it is meant to test fear, I will not fail because I am honest. Humans do not act out of arrogance. We act out of necessity and truth." With that, he lifted the lid slowly. The council hall seemed to hold its breath. The box did not explode. It did not emit any poison gas. It did not summon a hidden weapon. Instead, a soft glow came from within. Alex leaned closer. Inside, he saw a strange object. It looked like an alien artifact, small and crystalline, and it pulsed gently with light. He reached out carefully. As his fingers brushed it, the glow changed, almost as if the box itself recognized him. The queen's eyes widened slightly. She did not speak. The artifact responded to Alex's presence, vibrating gently and changing colors as he looked at it. The human delegates gasped. Some aliens whispered among themselves, confused. This was not how such tests usually ended. Alex spoke again softly, his voice steady. "I do not seek to trick or deceive. I speak honestly. Humans have flaws, yes. We make mistakes and we sometimes act too quickly. But we also adapt. We care for each other. We face impossible odds and find ways to survive." We do not always win, but we do not give up. This box, it knows truth. The artifact glowed brighter, and the glow seemed to fill the room. The council members recoiled slightly, shielding their eyes from the light. The queen, however, remained still. Her expression was unreadable, but Alex thought he saw a flicker of respect in her eyes. She had never seen a human act this way in her life. Most humans were reckless, proud, or fearful. Alex was none of these. He was honest and calm, and that honesty was what the box required. Minutes passed. No one moved. Alex held the box in his hands carefully, feeling the pulse of energy. Then slowly he closed it again and stood upright. The room was silent except for soft whispers. The queen's face was serious, but there was no anger. "You have passed the first test," she said finally. "By opening the box, you have fulfilled the condition. By Valorian law, the marriage is binding. The council cannot interfere. You have chosen to face what others feared. Humans are unpredictable, yet perhaps capable of more than we thought." Alex nodded respectfully. He did not smile. He did not boast. He only waited, knowing that the queen's next move would be critical. The council hall was still tense, filled with shock and curiosity. The humans behind him were staring, unsure whether to cheer or panic. The aliens were talking quietly among themselves, trying to understand what had just happened. The queen stepped closer to Alex. She looked at him carefully, as if studying not just his actions, but his mind and spirit. "You are different from your kind," she said. "I did not expect any human to survive the challenge, yet here you are, calm and honest. Do you understand what you have done? Do you know the consequences?" Alex met her gaze. "I understand. I do not seek reward. I only seek to act rightly. The consequences will come, and humans will face them as we always do, with courage and thought." The queen studied him for a long moment, her silver hair glinting in the soft light. Then she nodded once. "So be it. The bond is real. The council will know that a human has fulfilled a Valorian law that none expected. This will change how others see your kind. Be prepared, human. What comes next will test more than courage." Alex stayed calm. He knew this was only the beginning. Opening the box was not just a challenge. It was a test of leadership, character, and endurance. The queen's challenge was wild, dangerous, and completely unlike anything humans had faced before. Yet, he also knew that humans had a way of surviving and inspiring others in impossible situations. He turned slowly, looking at the human delegates behind him. Claire Young whispered, "Alex, you did it. You opened it, and you're alive." Alex nodded. "We are alive, Claire, but that is not enough. We have to understand what this bond means and how to act next. The Queen did not expect us to succeed. Now we must show why humans can be more than she thought." The Queen's voice rang out again, commanding the attention of everyone in the hall. "Let all beings present witness that a human has opened the box. This act cannot be undone. It is recorded in our laws, and it will be remembered. Prepare yourselves, humans, for what comes next is not merely a challenge. It is a trial that will shape our future together." Alex did not flinch. He stood tall, feeling the weight of responsibility, yet calm. Humans had faced worse in their history, and now, faced with a gorgeous alien queen, a mysterious box, and the eyes of the galaxy upon him, he was ready to do what humans always did: act with courage, honesty, and hope. The first part of the challenge was over. The box was opened, the marriage was declared, the council and queen were watching. And Alex Carter knew, deep in his heart, that this was only the beginning of a story that would change the galaxy forever after the council hall quieted. Alex Carter stayed where he was, holding the small glowing box carefully. The alien delegates still whispered among themselves, confused and cautious. Queen Sarilith, standing tall and imposing, watched him closely. For a moment, Alex felt the weight of every eye in the galaxy on him. This was not just about opening a box. It was about proving that humans could act with honesty and courage where others would fail. He looked down at the artifact. It pulsed softly, responding to his presence in ways he could not fully understand. He did not move it, did not shake it. He only observed. The box seemed to demand calm, clear thought, and he gave it exactly that. Claire Young, the human cultural advisor, stepped forward cautiously. "Alex," she whispered, "what is it? Why does it glow like that?" Alex shook his head slightly. "I do not know yet. I think it responds to truth, to honesty. Whatever is inside, it is not dangerous in the way we expected. It tests something else, maybe our thoughts or our intentions." Ben Harris, the engineer, joined them. "If that's true, it is beyond anything humans have seen before." Aliens usually build traps, weapons, or control systems. This is different. It reacts. It is almost alive in a way we can't explain. The Queen's voice interrupted their discussion. Human, she said, her tone sharp but controlled. You have opened the box, and by our laws, the union is binding. Yet do not think that you understand what you hold. The artifact is ancient, older than my civilization remembers. It has a purpose we no longer fully comprehend. It is not meant for recklessness. It will reveal truths that you may not expect. Alex nodded. I understand. I do not seek to use it recklessly. I only seek to understand it and follow what it asks of me honestly. The Queen studied him closely. Her eyes, violet and piercing, seemed to look through him, testing his mind, his heart. Then she spoke again, softer this time. Many have failed this test long ago. My ancestors placed the box in hiding because it could not be controlled. Now a human has opened it. This is unexpected, whispers filled the hall. The alien delegates looked astonished. No human had ever approached a Valorian test with such calm. Most humans acted with fear or with arrogance. Alex did neither. He acted with honesty. As the council members discussed quietly, Alex noticed something unusual. The artifact's glow changed when he thought about human history. When he thought about humans struggling on early colonies, fighting impossible odds, or helping one another, the box pulsed brighter. When he thought of fear, greed, or pride, the glow dimmed. It was almost as if it could sense not just actions, but emotions. He turned to Queen Sarilith. The box, it responds to our thoughts and intentions. It is not a trap in the usual sense. It wants honesty, perhaps in leadership, perhaps in understanding ourselves. The Queen's expression shifted slightly. She had never heard a human speak like this before. Her people believed humans were reckless, motivated only by survival or ambition. Alex's words challenged that belief. She realized that the box had not been designed for punishment. It had been designed to test truth, courage, and insight. You are correct, human, she said carefully. The box has not harmed you because you have shown honesty. My people forgot the lesson long ago. The test is not of strength, but of character. Yet do not think that all consequences are gone. Understanding comes with responsibility. You have triggered events that cannot be undone. Alex held the box closer. I understand. We accept responsibility. Humans do not step back from what they start. We face what comes. Claire and Ben nodded. They felt the pride and tension of the moment. The humans present were a small group, but they represented their entire species. What Alex did here would affect not just the council, but how the galaxy saw humans. The Queen's eyes softened slightly. You do not fear this moment. Many humans would tremble, knowing the laws of Valorians are absolute, yet you face it without fear. Tell me, human, do you understand what our union will mean? Alex thought carefully. I understand that it will unite us in ways beyond personal choice. It is not a prize or a reward. It is responsibility. Humans have never avoided responsibility. We will act wisely as best as we can, even if it is difficult or dangerous. The Queen tilted her head. She was studying him as a scientist might study a rare specimen. So be it. The box has chosen you because you are honest, not because you are brave. It responds to truth. The laws of my people demand that I respect what you have done. Our bond is real. Yet many will not understand. You will face challenges not yet imagined. Alex nodded. He did not flinch. He felt the weight of what was coming, but he also felt a quiet certainty. Humans had faced threats far greater than this. They had survived disasters, wars, and isolation. Now they faced something new, the responsibility of trust and honesty in an alien system that prized power above all else. Suddenly, the artifact pulsed again, brighter this time. The glow spread to the walls of the chamber, lighting the faces of every council member. Alien eyes widened. Some gasped, some whispered urgently. The box seemed to react not just to Alex, but to the presence of humans in the room, to their unity, their intent, and their calm. Alex realized something important. The box was not just a test for him. It was a test for humanity as a whole. How they acted, how they responded would affect how the galaxy saw humans. If they were reckless, the consequences would be severe. If they acted with insight, the galaxy might change in ways they never imagined. We must be careful, Alex said softly to Claire and Ben. This is not just about marriage or the Queen. This is about trust, leadership, and proving that humans can act with honor where others fail. Claire looked at him, eyes wide. Do you really think humans can change how aliens see us? Alex nodded. If we act wisely, if we act honestly, that is what the box wants. It is not about power. It is about truth, and truth is something humans can offer even when others doubt us. Queen Seralith watched them in silence. Alex could feel her curiosity and caution. She did not trust humans, not yet. Her people rarely did. But she could not ignore what had happened. The box had chosen a human, and it had responded to honesty, not strength or fear. It was a lesson long forgotten by her civilization. The council hall remained tense, yet quieter now. The delegates were unsure what to do. Many had seen challenges like this end in death, humiliation, or betrayal. Now none of those things had happened. The humans stood calmly, the box pulsing softly in Alex's hands. The room seemed suspended in time, waiting for the next move. Alex took a deep breath. We are ready to learn what comes next. We will not act recklessly. We will honor the trust we are given. Humans do not back down when responsibility comes. The queen nodded. She stepped closer, reaching out slightly but not touching the box. You will come with me to my world. There the true test will begin. The box is only the first step. What follows will demand not just honesty, but wisdom, courage, and the ability to inspire others. Prepare yourselves, humans. The galaxy is watching, and your actions will be remembered. Alex carefully closed the box and secured it. He glanced at Claire and Ben. We move together. Humans always act together when the stakes are high. We face what comes next, and we do not falter. The three humans followed Queen Seralith as she led them from the council chamber. The whispers followed them, as did curious and cautious eyes. The artifact pulsed softly in Alex's hands, as if approving their resolve. Alex felt a strange mix of fear and determination. He did not know what awaited them on the Queen's world, but he understood this. The box had not been a trap, and the Queen had not been testing physical strength alone. This was a test of character, and humans had just begun to prove themselves. As the council doors closed behind them, the humans prepared for a journey unlike any they had faced before. The galaxy would watch them, judge them, and remember them. But Alex knew one thing clearly. Honesty, courage, and unity were stronger than fear, and humans had all three. The adventure was just beginning, and the box, the Queen, and the galaxy were only the start of a story that would change everything. Alex Carter followed Queen Seralith through the vast corridors of the council ship. The walls were smooth and cold, glowing faintly with alien symbols that changed color as they moved. The humans behind him, Claire Young and Ben Harris, kept close, their footsteps echoing softly. The Queen walked with grace and authority, her silver hair flowing behind her, her violet eyes sharp and observing. Alex understood something clearly. The journey ahead would not be easy, and it would not be simple diplomacy. It would be a test of survival, trust, and leadership. When they reached the ship's observation deck, Alex looked out at the galaxy. Stars stretched endlessly, and distant worlds shone like tiny jewels. The beauty was breathtaking, but Alex knew beauty could hide danger. He had studied space travel, alien technology, and council politics. Nothing prepared him for the feeling of being bound to a queen whose civilization was stronger, older, and far more cunning than humans. Yet he felt calm. Fear would not serve him now. Only observation, honesty, and courage would. Queen Seralith stopped and turned to face them. Humans, she said, her voice commanding yet curious, you have opened the box, you have shown honesty, now you must face the real challenge. My world, Veloria, will judge you not by strength alone, but by wisdom, patience, and adaptability. The trials will not harm you unless you fail, but they will reveal everything about your character. Alex nodded. We are ready. Humans do not shy away from trials. We meet them and learn. We do not cheat, we do not lie. We face what is given, and we act as we must. The Queen studied him, and then she smiled faintly, though it did not reach her eyes fully. We will see if that is enough. You will travel with me to Veloria. You will meet my council, my advisors, and my guards. You will follow our customs, some of which are strange to humans. Disobedience will be noticed. Dishonesty will be punished. Yet there is opportunity here, as there always is in truth. Alex exchanged a glance with Claire, and Ben. Claire whispered, Alex, do you think we can survive their customs? Some of these aliens are harsh. Alex answered calmly, we survive because we are human, we adapt, we observe, we learn. That is how we have faced impossible odds before, and this is no different. We act honestly, and that will be our shield. Ben nodded quietly. I hope your calmness works here. Sometimes it is not enough to survive alien politics. The queen led them through a portal, and in an instant the stars outside vanished. They appeared on Veloria, a planet that looked like a jewel from space. Vast cities glimmered under multiple suns, and strange towers reached high into the sky. The air shimmered faintly, not harmful but noticeable. The humans felt the alien energy, the sense of power, and the weight of history. Veloria was the center of the Queen's empire, and every step they took was under the scrutiny of her people. The first to meet them was a guard named Lauren. He was massive, taller than any human, with 4 arms and eyes that glowed faintly in the dim light. He approached with careful steps, studying Alex and the others. "Humans," he said, voice deep and resonant, "the Queen has brought you here. You are bound by the law, but the customs of Veloria will test you. Follow them carefully. Any misstep may be seen as disrespect, and disrespect is punished." Alex bowed slightly, a gesture he hoped showed respect. "We understand. We will observe and follow the customs. We do not seek offense or conflict. We seek understanding and cooperation." Lauren nodded, seemingly satisfied, and motioned them to follow. They walked through a great hall filled with alien symbols, holographic images, and intricate decorations. The humans felt a mix of awe and tension. Every corner seemed alive, every pattern seemed meaningful. Alex realized this was more than architecture. It was a system of communication, teaching, and warning. The Valorians embedded their culture and history into their structures, and only careful observation would reveal the meaning. Queen Seralith led them to a private chamber where several of her advisors awaited. The humans noticed the diversity among them. Some were tall and elegant, others short and stocky, all with eyes sharp and alert. They were clearly intelligent, cautious, and prepared for any challenge. One advisor spoke first, a female named Irina. Her skin was pale blue and her movements were fluid. "Humans," she said, "you have opened the box. That is remarkable. But now you are on Veloria, where your actions will be observed constantly. The Queen's law binds you to her, but your behavior will determine whether you are respected or ignored. The box has chosen you for honesty, yet honesty alone may not be enough." Alex listened carefully. "We understand. We will act honestly and we will follow your rules. Humans do not step back from responsibility. We learn quickly and we act with observation and care." The advisor studied him for a long moment. "Words are easy, actions are difficult." "You will see this soon." She motioned and a small device appeared. It displayed a series of challenges, mental tests, cultural exercises, and simulations of political scenarios. The humans realized that their understanding of leadership, trust, and quick decision-making would be tested in ways they had never imagined. The Queen spoke again. "These are the first steps. My empire has seen many races, many leaders, many warriors. Few humans have faced our customs. You will not be able to rely on strength alone. You will need insight, patience, and teamwork. If you fail, the consequences may be severe, not because of me, but because of tradition." Alex nodded. He felt no fear. "We accept. Humans have faced impossible odds before. We will act honestly with thought and with cooperation. We understand that this is not a game. It is responsibility, and we will bear it." The Queen's eyes softened slightly. She was beginning to see what many had missed. Humans were unpredictable, yes, but in ways that could be powerful. They were not bound by fear in the same way her people were. They could act with calm courage, with careful thought, and with honesty even when danger loomed. The first challenge was a simulation of a political crisis. Holographic images showed an alien rebellion, citizens rioting, and military units in disarray. The humans were asked to advise the Queen on what to do. The room watched closely, the advisors noting every word, every gesture. Alex spoke first. "We must understand the cause of the rebellion. Punishment alone will not succeed. We need to communicate with those affected, offer solutions that are fair, and inspire trust. Fear may control, but only trust will last." The advisors whispered among themselves. One of them said, "This human speaks differently. They consider both sides. They are honest and wise." Ben added carefully, "We can help manage resources and rebuild infrastructure. Humans have experience in organizing communities and rebuilding after disasters. Strategy and care can prevent further conflict." Claire spoke next. "We must also ensure that citizens feel heard. If they see that leadership listens and acts honestly, trust grows. Humans value dialogue and fairness." Queen Seralith observed quietly, impressed despite herself. The humans were not acting arrogantly and they were not fearful. They were thoughtful, practical, and honest. She realized this was the true test. The box had chosen someone not for strength, but for character. Alex and his companions were showing that character in action. The simulation ended, and the advisors recorded their observations. The Queen finally spoke. "You have shown insight beyond what many would expect. Humans, you may yet prove that the box did not choose poorly, but challenges will continue, and not all will be simulations. Real dangers, political pressures, and traditions will confront you. Are you prepared to face them?" Alex nodded firmly. "We are prepared. Humans do not turn away from responsibility. We face what comes with courage and honesty. We do not seek reward, only to act rightly." The Queen studied him silently for a long moment. Then she motioned for them to follow. "Come. Your first test in the real world awaits. You will meet the citizens of Veloria, see their daily lives, and understand the rules that govern them. Observe carefully. Act honestly. Your choices will be remembered. The box has chosen, but now your actions will prove your worth." Alex walked forward, the artifact safely in his possession, feeling the weight of responsibility. He knew that this journey would not be easy. The Queen's customs were strict, her people observant, and the galaxy watched. Yet he also knew that humans had survived worse. They had adapted, learned, and inspired others in situations far more dangerous than this. Claire whispered, "Alex, can we really survive this?" Alex smiled faintly. "We will survive. Humans do not survive by luck alone. We survive by honesty, observation, and courage. We act, we learn, and we inspire. That is how we will pass every challenge." The Queen walked ahead, leading them into the bustling streets of Veloria. Citizens of many species observed them closely, curious about the humans chosen by the Queen. Whispers spread quickly. The humans realized that every step, every action, every word would be noted. The challenge was not over. In fact, it was only beginning. Alex felt a quiet determination. The box had chosen him, but now he would show that humans were more than a species capable of facing fear. They were capable of inspiring trust, adapting to any challenge, and acting with honesty in a galaxy that often valued power above all else. As they entered the heart of the city, Alex knew one thing clearly. The real test had begun, and humans would face it together, not as strangers, but as a team capable of showing the galaxy their true strength. Alex Carter walked with Queen Sarilith through the crowded streets of Veloria. Citizens of her empire watched quietly, curious and cautious. The humans felt the weight of every gaze. They were not just visitors, they were part of a bond that the galaxy would notice. Alex understood this. Humans had survived many impossible situations, but this was different. Here, they faced not just danger, but scrutiny, tradition, and expectation. Claire Young whispered beside him, "Alex, do you think they trust us?" Alex shook his head slightly. "Not yet. Trust is earned through action. Words are not enough. We show them who we are through what we do." Ben Harris adjusted the straps of the small pack he carried. "I never imagined diplomacy would feel like walking through a battlefield," he said quietly. Alex smiled faintly. "Sometimes it is, Ben, but humans survive because we act together, carefully and honestly. Observation and teamwork will carry us further than weapons or threats." The Queen led them to a large plaza at the heart of Veloria. Alien citizens of all shapes and sizes moved through the space. Some had multiple limbs, some glowed faintly, and some carried strange tools or devices. The humans noticed immediately how much attention the citizens paid to them. Whispers spread through the crowd. The box had been opened, the Queen's bond declared, and now the humans walked among them. Every step was a statement. Suddenly, alarms rang. Red lights flashed across the plaza. Citizens paused and looked around in confusion. Alex felt a sharp tension in the air. He turned to the Queen. "What is happening?" he asked calmly. The Queen's eyes narrowed. "A rival faction has launched a coup. They hope to exploit the bond between humans and myself. They think it will weaken my rule. They underestimate your species." Alex's heart remained steady. Humans had faced rebellion and attacks before. Courage, observation, and quick thinking had always carried them through. "What do we do?" he asked. "We observe first," Queen Sarilith replied. "Then we act. My armies will hesitate until my orders are clear. They are bound by tradition and law. If I do not act correctly, the rebellion may succeed. You will need to think quickly." Alex nodded. He turned to Claire and Ben. "Observe the situation, understand what is happening. Then we act together. Humans adapt, and we will do what must be done." The plaza grew chaotic. Holographic displays projected the movements of enemy forces. Alien soldiers hesitated, unsure whether to follow orders or wait. Citizens ran for cover. Alex noticed patterns in the enemy movement. They were bold but reckless, relying on surprise and confusion. Humans, he realized, could use logic and calm to turn the tide. Ben spoke quietly. "We can use the defense systems here. The layout of the city, the energy barriers, I can modify them to slow the enemy. It is risky, but it may give us time." Alex nodded. "Do it. Claire, coordinate with the citizens if possible. Show them how to act safely. Lead by example." Claire moved quickly through the plaza, guiding civilians to safer areas, calming them and giving clear instructions. Her voice carried authority without fear. Citizens followed her, noticing the humans' calm and practical approach. Ben worked with the alien control panels, quickly adjusting energy fields and redirecting defenses. He spoke in soft tones, explaining to Alex and Claire what he was doing. "These systems are designed for local control only. If we coordinate them correctly, we can block the enemy and protect the citizens without direct combat." Alex moved to the center of the plaza. He raised his voice, clear and confident. "Everyone, stay calm, follow instructions. Humans face impossible odds and survive by working together. Do not panic. Your leaders will guide you, and together we will stand strong." The citizens, surprised by the humans' confidence, began to organize themselves. Some helped with barricades, others guided the young or elderly to safe zones. Slowly, the chaos transformed into controlled action. Queen Seralith watched from above. She had never seen humans act like this. Not with fear, not with arrogance, but with calm, careful observation and decisive action. She realized that the bond with Alex was not a weakness, but a strength. Humans could inspire loyalty and courage in ways her people had forgotten. The enemy forces pressed forward, thinking the Queen's rule would falter. Instead, they encountered organized resistance. Energy barriers blocked their movement. Citizens moved in coordination with the humans' guidance. Alien soldiers who had hesitated before now acted decisively. The humans' influence was clear. Alex noticed a group of enemy leaders trying to flank the plaza. He signaled to Ben, who quickly adjusted the defense systems to block their path. Claire guided nearby citizens to help create distractions, making the enemy hesitate further. Queen Seralith stepped forward finally, giving commands with authority. Her soldiers moved with precision. Together with the humans' guidance, they turned what could have been a massacre into a controlled defense. The coup faltered, and enemy forces retreated. Alex stood in the plaza, breathing steadily. The humans had not used weapons, had not relied on strength alone. They had relied on observation, honesty, leadership, and cooperation. The citizens looked at them with awe. The Queen looked at Alex with something approaching respect. "You have done what many would fail to do," Queen Seralith said quietly, approaching him. "Your species is unpredictable, yes, but not reckless. You inspire others to act with courage without fear. This is remarkable." Alex shook his head slightly. "We did not act alone. Humans work together and we learn from every situation. We do not seek glory. We act because it is necessary. This is how we survive and how we inspire trust." The Queen smiled faintly. It was not a warm smile, but it held acknowledgement. "Perhaps the box chose well. The bond is no longer a burden, but a bridge. Your actions today will be remembered across Veloria. You have shown that humans are more than expected. They can lead, they can inspire, and they can endure." The plaza slowly returned to normal. Citizens went back to their tasks, soldiers resumed patrols, and the enemy forces were gone. The humans stood together, calm and composed. Claire whispered, "Alex, that was incredible. We actually turned the tide." Alex nodded. "We did what humans always do. We faced what came, we acted honestly, and we led together. That is enough to survive and inspire." Queen Seralith looked at him once more. "The next challenges will not be so direct. They will test your patience, your insight, and your ability to understand our ways. But you have shown one thing: humans can rise to meet the impossible. Remember this feeling, you will need it." Alex held the small artifact carefully. It glowed softly, as if approving their actions. He realized that the box had been the first step. Now humans were proving themselves in real situations, not simulations. Their honesty, courage, and cooperation were being recognized, and slowly the galaxy was learning that humans were capable of more than anyone had imagined. As the sun set over Veloria, painting the city in soft purples and golds, Alex, Claire, and Ben walked beside the Queen through the quieted streets. They knew the challenges were far from over. Yet they also knew that humans had a way of facing the impossible, inspiring trust, and showing courage without fear. And that would be their greatest strength in the trials ahead. The city was calm for now, but Alex knew that this was only the beginning. More challenges awaited, more tests of leadership, honesty, and courage. The humans had survived their first true trial. They had turned chaos into order without violence. And slowly, Queen Seralith began to understand that this human bond was not a weakness. It was a chance for something new, something stronger, and something the galaxy had never seen before. Alex looked at the horizon. The stars beyond Veloria twinkled brightly. He felt a quiet determination. The humans had proven themselves once, but the journey was far from over. They would face more trials, more politics, and more danger. Yet he also knew that humans had survived far worse. They acted with courage, honesty, and unity. And that would carry them through anything the galaxy could throw at them. The artifact glowed softly in his hands. It had chosen a human. Now it watched how the human acted. And Alex Carter intended to act with honor, wisdom, and courage, proving that humans could inspire change, trust, and strength across the stars. The next challenges awaited. The humans were ready. The city of Veloria was quiet after the recent chaos. Citizens moved carefully through the streets, glancing at Alex, Claire, and Ben as they walked beside Queen Seralith. The humans had proven themselves in the first trials of leadership and courage, but Alex knew that true challenges were not over. The bond with the Queen was not merely symbolic. It was political, cultural, and deeply influential. Their next steps would shape the galaxy in ways few could imagine. Alex kept the glowing artifact close. It pulsed softly, almost like a heartbeat. The box had tested him, shown the value of honesty and courage. Now it seemed to watch, observing how humans would act in more complex situations. Alex understood this. The galaxy did not test humans lightly, and every action mattered. Queen Seralith led them to a high tower overlooking the city. The chamber inside was vast and filled with intricate alien designs. The walls displayed histories, conflicts, and victories of her people. The humans were quiet, taking in the scale and weight of the place. They realized that every challenge they faced was observed and remembered, not just by the Queen, but by her entire empire. "Humans," Queen Seralith said, her violet eyes focused on Alex, "you have survived your first trials. You have shown courage, honesty, and cooperation. Yet the galaxy does not accept these qualities lightly. You will face a challenge unlike the one before. This is not a test of calm action alone. It is a test of leadership, insight, and the ability to inspire." Alex nodded. "We understand." Humans do not shy away from responsibility. We act carefully, we learn quickly, and we inspire those around us. We do not seek reward, only to do what is right. The Queen studied him for a moment. Then she gestured toward a large holographic display. The city was projected before them, but parts of the empire beyond Veloria were highlighted. Several territories were in unrest. Rival factions sought to undermine her authority. Her people were divided, and she expected Alex and the humans to help navigate this. "These are the places where decisions must be made," she said. "Your insights, your actions, and your leadership will be tested. If you succeed, humans will be seen as true partners. If you fail, the consequences will be severe for both you and my people." Alex looked at the map carefully. He noticed patterns in the unrest, rebellion fueled by fear, misinformation, and misunderstanding. The humans had faced similar challenges in their own history. He turned to Claire and Ben. "We approach this like we have before," he said calmly. "Observe carefully, understand the situation, act honestly, and inspire trust. Humans succeed not because we are strongest, but because we unite, adapt, and guide others." Ben nodded. "I can work with the communication systems here. We can spread clear instructions, calm fears, and coordinate efforts to stabilize the regions." Claire added, "And we can speak directly to the people, help them understand intentions, and inspire them to cooperate. Honesty and transparency will be our tools." Queen Seralith observed silently. She realized that the humans' approach was entirely different from her people's. Valorians often relied on force, hierarchy, and tradition. Humans relied on observation, honesty, and inspiration. It was risky, but it worked. Alex had already shown her that humans could influence others in ways her people had forgotten. Over the next several days, the humans worked closely with the Queen and her advisors. Ben coordinated energy grids, transport systems, and defense communications, ensuring that citizens were protected and unrest minimized. Claire spoke directly with communities, explaining the Queen's intentions and listening to grievances. Alex traveled to regions in unrest, speaking calmly and clearly, using logic and honesty to win trust. Slowly, the tide began to turn. Citizens who had feared rebellion began to cooperate. Rival factions hesitated, confused by the humans' calm influence and the citizens' unexpected loyalty. Queen Seralith watched closely, noting how the humans inspired action without force, relying on trust, observation, and patience. One evening, as the sun set and cast long shadows over Veloria, the humans returned to the Queen's tower. They were tired but satisfied. The unrest had lessened, the factions were retreating, and citizens were calmer. Alex looked at the glowing artifact in his hands. It pulsed softly, almost as if acknowledging their success. Queen Seralith approached him. "You have done what few could imagine. The humans have not only survived but guided, inspired, and stabilized. Your actions have changed the perception of your species. I underestimated you. The bond is no longer a mere obligation. It is a bridge." Alex bowed slightly. "We acted as humans always do. We face challenges honestly, we guide others with care, and we act together. The reward is not power, but responsibility. Humans survive and inspire because we act rightly." The Queen's expression softened. For the first time, she smiled fully, though it was still dignified. "Then the bond is complete, not as a test, but as recognition. Humans are not just allies, but partners. Your species has proven itself worthy of trust, not by fear or force, but by courage, honesty, and leadership." Claire whispered to Alex, "We did it. We really changed how they see us." Alex nodded. "Yes, but we do not stop here. Humans act responsibly, even when there is no reward. The galaxy watches, and we continue to guide with honesty and courage." The Queen gathered the humans in a private chamber. She spoke quietly, but her words carried weight. "From this day forward, humans will be recognized across Veloria not as outsiders, but as beings capable of partnership, leadership, and inspiration. The bond is symbolic and real. Your choices have altered history. The galaxy will remember." Alex felt a quiet pride. Not for himself alone, but for all humans. They had faced the unknown, acted honestly, and shown leadership without arrogance or fear. They had proven that humans could adapt, inspire, and guide even in the most complex situations. Over the following weeks, humans continued to work alongside Queen Seralith. They traveled to troubled regions, mediated disputes, and helped her people see that trust and cooperation could achieve what force alone could not. Slowly, the empire stabilized. Rival factions ceased attacks, and citizens began to respect both the Queen and the humans. The box, the artifact that had begun it all, pulsed softly in Alex's presence. It had chosen a human not for strength, but for character. It had witnessed honesty, courage, and leadership, and now it seemed to glow with quiet satisfaction, as if acknowledging the human's success. One evening, Alex stood with Claire and Ben looking out at the city. The suns had set and stars sparkled above Veloria. The humans had survived trials, inspired trust, and helped shape a new era. Alex felt the quiet satisfaction of responsibility fulfilled, knowing that humans had proven themselves capable of more than the galaxy had imagined. Queen Seralith approached, her expression calm and dignified. "You have changed the perception of your species," she said. "What began as a challenge has become a partnership. Humans walk beside us, not as subjects, but as equals in judgment, courage, and leadership. You have earned respect where few thought it possible." Alex bowed slightly. "We acted as humans always do. We face challenges honestly, guide others with care, and lead by example. Reward is not our goal. Survival, trust, and courage are what we offer. That is enough." The Queen smiled again. This time it was warm. She extended her hand in acknowledgement. Alex took it carefully, understanding the weight and significance of the gesture. It was not just a formality, but a recognition of partnership, trust, and shared responsibility. The humans had survived every trial, guided others, and proven the value of honesty and courage. The box had chosen wisely, the Queen had learned to trust, and the galaxy had seen humans act in ways few had expected. As Alex, Claire, and Ben looked at the horizon, they realized the galaxy was full of challenges, conflicts, and unknown dangers. Yet they also knew something powerful. Humans could face the impossible, act honestly, inspire trust, and lead with courage. And that would be their greatest strength in any trial to come. The artifact pulsed softly one last time that evening. The humans had opened the box, faced the Queen's wild challenge, and shown that courage, honesty, and unity could change the course of history. The marriage, once seen as a burden or trap, had become a symbol of partnership, respect, and hope. Alex looked at Queen Sarilith and then at the glowing city below. We did what humans always do. We acted rightly. We survived, we inspired, and we led. Now the galaxy knows what humans are capable of. Queen Sarilith nodded. Yes, human, and from this day forward your kind will be remembered not as outsiders but as partners who walk with courage, honesty, and wisdom. The bond is complete and history begins anew. And so the humans stood with the Queen, looking toward a future shaped by choice, courage, and partnership. The galaxy had watched, learned, and remembered. And humans had proven once again that even in the face of the unknown, they could survive, inspire, and change the universe simply by acting honestly and with courage.